Beware, coward.
Beware indeedy. Welcome to Bits.
Yes, and once again, we've got fast driving, alien obliteration, and more guns and ammo than at a redneck convention. So shirk off your responsibilities and come wallow in our game fest.
We'll be burning rubber with the fastest driving games on no wheels, boldly going on a mission to destroy new life and separating the whack from the crap internet phones. But first...
Ever since Space Wars introduced the world to the video game, the planet's been littered by a trail of intergalactic intestine. Now, Microsoft's latest title, Allegiance, may not help to realign the lack of creativity in the genre, but top marks for giving it a go. But I don't know why people hate aliens so much. So today, in my small way, I'm going to try and make up for some of the carnage. Come on, guys, I'll show you around.
Proceed to the zone and select your mission.
Allegiance, however, is traditional fare. In this one, the year is 2150, 10 mere years after the sizzling destruction of planet Earth in a manner closely related to the plot of Armageddon. Only 5% miserable of the population survived to continue the traditions of war, antipathy, and mutilation. In fact, the future looks like a team-based, open-ended space combat game with the ultimate goal being the conquerage of the universe. But here's the twist. It's one of these massively multiplayer online things that the industry's buzzing about. When we logged on, there were 27,000 gamers competing in deep cyberspace. As if that wasn't bad enough, the remaining survivors have split into factions, and all are after the same thing, the life-giving helium-3. Unfortunately, there's not a lot up there, so personal appropriation becomes elemental to survival, no matter what the cost in life. Come on, guys, let's get some nosh. The basics of post-apocalyptic society have been laid down over the previous decade, so you enter in the middle of the fray with a boil in your blood and a preference for one of the 3 human camps. You can choose the military force, Gigacorp, in which might makes right. You can align yourself with the UN-akin Iron Coalition and struggle to maintain order, strength, and unity, or you can side with the genetically experimented bios who fly like butterflies and sting like bees. Right, who ordered the smoked sausage supper? The game goes as follows. Enter as a pilot and then perish immediately in a ball of flames. Try again until you determine that life on the front line just isn't for you. Promote yourself to investor and rake in the dough for the advancement of your civilization. And then determine that you can call the shots better than the guy in charge. So shamelessly encourage your comrades to vote you into the position of power. And then lean back in your leather-clad armchair, buck some bikini-clad Playboy bunny at your side, and watch the minions do the dying. Oh, life at the top feels good.
Welcome home. Ship is repaired, rearmed, and ready.
There are no solo missions in Allegiance, so you're stuck with the MSN Gaming Zone to do your battle. If you're a kamikaze warrior, this game will not do. Allegiance is a mean team fighting machine, and every choice you make will affect how your group fares in the long term. And although you, as a grunt, are not required to follow your commander's demands, he can have you killed. So, watch yourself out there. The company line is that Allegiance offers a real space flying experience, which is probably why it's so damn difficult. Expect to be space dust within nanoseconds of your arrival online, and it's out to buy on your PC right now. So, guys, what'd you think of your chips and iron brew? Guys? Guys?
You're hunched over the steering wheel. Your tyres are screeching. The crowds are roaring. But unfortunately, you've still got 11 laps to go, and you really can't be bothered. Why? Because this is NASCAR 2000, and all the circuits are oval, which means you just go round and around and oops.
Racing should be seat-of-the-pants stuff with speed to make your eyes bleed and levels of excitement that make your sweaty palms slip off the controller. Instead, what we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is yet another so-so EA update. NASCAR 2000 is the latest in their series of driving sims, and like the recent F1 2000, it is a proficient, if predictable, effort. Unlike Formula 1, NASCAR is not a well-known sport in this country. If you can tell me who Tony Stewart and the Intimidator Dale Earnhardt are, then you're doing better than me. Perhaps you'd even like this game a bit more too. As with most EA sports games, NASCAR 2000 is for the completists. There are over 30 real-life drivers, 18 NASCAR tracks, most of which are the large loopy kind, and plenty of options for retuning your car. And of course, there's all the usual game modes from practice to championship. But really, who gives a toss? Come on, mate, move it! You can fit a bus through there.
We're late in the race.
That's it, go!
These are stock cars, which basically means they need to be designed to hammer it along the tracks as quickly as is humanly possible. Reaching well over 100 miles an hour, there's definitely no time to be shy. Safety takes a backseat to sheer pace, so you can expect some pretty spectacular crashes. Indeed, it almost seems as though the crashes are the main point of this game.
The real-time damage to your car enhances the whole thing too. It's a bit like building a car out of Lego and then flinging it violently against the wall, just to see if it will break. The short tracks mean you're never far from your nearest opponent, but the main problem is that it just doesn't grab you as it should. Let's face it, EA have done what they can, but NASCAR is no boy racer. NASCAR 2000 is out for your PC pleasure now.
Time to journey back to those mentally unhealthy days of Victorian London, where Jack the Ripper lived just around the corner and feces flow like rivers to the streets. These are Gothic times, so enter your darkest dreams with nightmare creatures too. What's that noise?
This is horror action adventure where you assume the role of Wallace, treading the fine lines between hero and psychopath. During a tragic failure of a mission back in 1834, Wallace was captured by the familiar-sounding sorcerer Adam Crowley and used as a guinea pig for lab experiments. Crowley turned Wallace into the twisted creature you see before you. Understandably, he's feeling a bit annoyed. Vengeance is in the air, and this time it's personal in this bittersweet Frankensteinian story of crime and punishment.
Rather eclipsed by the dawn of survival horror Resident Evil, this game follows much more classic literary themes of Gothic horror, with definitive influences from the brilliant Tim Burton. Think A Nightmare Before Christmas meets Silent Hill, and you've got the atmosphere in one. Like Resident Evil, this game follows a satisfyingly linear and logical approach to the story.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't find anywhere else to practice.
However, unlike Resident Evil, the only way to survive here is in the frequent and difficult combat with the huge variety of monsters, ghouls and gargoyles. This makes up a large part of the gameplay as the puzzles take a back seat. The combat is very much hand-to-hand, though there is a pistol complete with a variety of ammo and upgrades.
A nice touch here is your bloodthirsty axe. How very apt for a gargoyle named Wallace. You don't just rid your enemies with a neat, swift bullet to the brain. You chop and slice and hack and chop and slice and hack. Hack, chop, slice, chop, hack and slice and hack.
The action and combat sequences are fast and smooth for a PlayStation game. He's a pleasure to direct as he jumps, smashes, climbs, pulls himself up and even swims underwater. Not unlike that old Lara bird, though his behind is a little less cute to stare at. This game is a dark one and is reflected in the graphics. It has the frustrating addiction of a beat-em-up and the eeriness of Silent Hill. As a survival horror, it's pretty creepy, though Resident Evil still wins in the fear-induced atmosphere stakes.
The levels take you across 9 locales, ending up in Gay Paris, where the climactic finale will have you peaking at the top of the Bise de Resistance, the Eiffel Tower. But if you really want a creep show, keep your eyes peeled for Alone in the Dark 4. Until then, though, Nightmare Creatures 2 is out for your Dreamcast and PlayStation this June. Good night.
If you feel like your Star Trek Armada is a few ships short of a fleet, then fret not. All you have to do is type in "show me the money" and you're sitting pretty. Get the loot in and spend, spend, spend. Also, if you've been heading towards the rocks for ages because you've been stuck in a particular level, then don't get your Klingons in a twist. Press enter and type in "Koya Shimaru" and beam yourself to the next level.
Let's face it, there's nothing funnier than enormous heads on tiny little bodies, which may explain why South Park is just so popular. But, believe it or not, we've unearthed a cheat that allows you to blow all your favourite South Park characters' heads into even more ridiculous proportions. Go to the options menu, click on the bottom left-hand corner and type Ego Trip. Join us after the break for some Martian madness. And if you can't wait for that, then check out our website on www.forlater.com/bits. Go on, you know you want to. Whoa. Once upon a time, Martians were little green men who landed on Earth and said, "Take me to your leader," as a precursor to world domination. These days, everyone knows that real Martians are in fact just little bacteria, as found on the Antarctic rock some 20-odd years ago. Luckily for us and for them, in Martian Gothic unification, bleach doesn't exist, which would be a very short game indeed. Now, I must clean everything. No Martian bacteria here.
I wish I could tell them that all will be well. But
The year is 2019 and man has made his first stab at colonising Mars. The base Vita 1 has been set up and populated by a crew of 58. But a year later, the last transmission broadcast was a warning that the whole of Mars should be quarantined.
stay alone, stay alive. That's what we were told.
These are not your usual zombie offerings like the dreadful voiceovers found in Resident Evil. These are surprisingly good, and the fact that all the alien business is based on current scientific actuality only makes the game more compelling. From the outset, you get a real feeling of embarking on an epic adventure, enhanced by the graphics and quirky scenery.
Each character has their own area of specialisation. Martin Khan, the leader, is from government security. Yuji Kenzo is an AI expert. And Diane Matlock, a microbiologist. Now, you'll have to toggle between all three and use their skills and pickups accordingly to uncover the truth and find out a cure for this horrific bacterial outbreak. And thanks to a great script, all the characters are really well developed. Look at that! Daddy! Daddy!
Radio link with Khan and Kenzo.
This fairly unique 3-play feature allows the game to progress in as random manner as you want, but it begins in a fairly linear way. Only Yuji can access the rest of the ship from his airlock. The others are confined to theirs until he can find a computer to unlock it. This is when you get your first taste of not being alone in the game. The crew of Vita 1 have been affected by Mars's native inhabitants and are either fully undead or well on their way. And they have a taste for blood. Not only that, but these zombies don't die. If you clear an area, when you come back through, they may be waiting for you again. As there's not a lot of firepower initially available, running is as good an option as any, as your quick in combat mode didn't do much good in my opinion.
A key marked MED. Med?
Fortunately, when you access the computer, you can also get a readout of all the pickups in each of the 120 rooms, which is handy.
Sci-fi presented with Gibson-esque skill, beautiful environments and clever puzzling that goes beyond switching a couple of levers and actually has you interacting with your pickups and environments. Gothic zombies in space. Well, who would have thought it? But actually the setting works really well. If you like your creepy games, then you'll love this, and it's out for your PC now. One quick hint though, if you are worried about bacteria on Mars, then just make sure there's somebody else about and take a bite first.
Beware, coward.
Are you one of those Fred Flintstones who thinks that going online means being tied to your PC or weighed down by your laptop? Well, yabba dabba don't, because there's a new breed of mobile phones that allow you to go online enabled by WAP, Wireless Application Protocol. Now, with this stuff, you can download all sorts of information, but what you want to know is what WAP is crap.
In third place comes a Mitsubishi Triumph. Now, for its online services, you have to open an account with Cellnet's Genie Internet. What doesn't go in its favour is the fact that this is dual band, meaning it's restricted to certain countries. However, it has a flap. Cool or what? But is a flap really worth 100 nika, I ask you? Aloha!
In second place is the Motorola Timeport T2288.
No.
Posers expect to be disappointed.
No.
There's no flap, no cover, no gadget.
No.
Or is there? This little baby is voice activated, and you can record conversations and memos. It's also tri-band, so it'll work in Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, and America. And you can bookmark web pages for easy access. And all these little extras are going to cost something more, so expect to pay around 130 quid.
But no surprises is that the Nokia 7110 is #1. It's easier to get online and has a spanking new mouse-like scrolling device. Okay, so WAP may be a little finicky to use right now, but the reason you will pay £130 for this little baby is that it's so damn sexy.
Beware, coward.
Hey, cowboy, want to prove how far you can shoot with your cue? Well, maybe you should get some practice in before you try and knock me dead. So get your virtual butt down to the Budweiser Q Club. Although I was rather sceptical about the contents of this game, I have to say I rather enjoyed it. Having been shut out from this pub culture by various boyfriends over the years, I finally appreciate that satisfying thwack of the cue on the ball. Despite the game's simplistic format, it is surprisingly realistic. The balls seem almost grabbable as they catch the light, and the throbbing techno music and lighting combined with the realistic rumbling of balls and cue sounds puts you smack in the middle of the action. A particular favourite touch of mine is the beautifully varnished wooden tables, which can be fully customised with kitschy leopard skin if one desires. The view is directly overhead to provide optimum judgment with the advantage of applying general logic and geometry when shooting certain difficult angles, when otherwise pissed and not even knowing what logic or geometry, for that matter, is. What makes this game rather more innovative is how you climb the ranks and how you play against the AI. There are 8 virtual chat rooms you can enter and chat or play against the 100 or so characters, simulating the feeling that this is an online game. Their attempts to simulate a real bar have sadly failed. You can't see the characters you're playing, just the table. Where's the kebab meat, the puke, the bored girlfriends, and more importantly, the lager? Still, I enjoyed it far more than I thought. Instantly accessible and quite addictive, refreshing many parts other games just haven't reached. Snooky, loopy nuts I weren't, but Chaz will be pleased to hear I'm now all snooky, loopy. The Budweiser Q Club is out for your PC now.
There is darkness approaching. It comes in a blackened cape. It is here for your soul. Beware Diablo 2. Emerging from the depths is the long-sought-after sequel to the 1997 Game of the Year. Grab your beard and extend your role-playing tendrils. Oh yes, it has come. The first installment of the tale was a revolution of the genre. Mighty heroes were called upon to journey into the land in the hope of quenching the immortal evil that is Diablo. You may remember at the end of that episode, the hero defeated the archdevil. But wouldn't you just know it, he's back just to show you can't ham a bad seed in. It all seems so melodramatic, but in reality, Diablo 2 presents itself as a form of Zelda, with skinnier characters and a lack of direction. It has a multiplayer aspect which should take care of the wandering nature of the souls who dig this kind of thing and get them out of our hair as they search for the devil who comes in many guises. The new game is very similar in structure to the original. You play a character of extreme bravado, forging your path through levels of trolls, newts, and other mythical Tolkien-esque folk, trailing through the carnage left in Diablo's wake. This time around, you've got 5 different styles of hero, from Amazon to wand-enhanced necromancer to sexy sorceress to uptight paladin to brutish barbarian. It pays to stick with one guy or gal for the duration of your quests, to build him or her up in levels and strengths. Within each category, there are at least 2 trees of technology that can be advanced upon, but choosing the one physical or spiritual path depletes the impact of the others.
Beware, my goblin-eyed amigo, for the decisions you make now will affect your actions later.
Amongst the odd decapitated and partially munched corpses lying around the 4 new huge levels, you'll find various objects to assist you along the way. They'll be particularly useful to specific characters, but can be used by anyone who picks them up. The single-player mode will have more instruction and short-term goals than the BattleNet Vita Bits plate, and in the offline environment, the real strategic aspect of the game will become apparent. The online version doesn't seem as friendly as the time we spent in Asheron's Call, and the only communication we had was with a pestering little dude who kept trying to steal our sword. Doesn't really make you want to come back for more.
If you're not turned on by Eye of Newt, horny toads, and warts on noses, then you might just want to run away from this ye olde world. But if you are into a bit of Tolkien-esque dabbling, then Diablo 2 might just ease you in. It's emerging from the depths of the underworld later this year.
Here's a taster of what's in the T4 edition of Bits on Sunday.
If you fancy a rumble in the concrete jungle, get your knuckles cracking for this next brawl 'em up with the most elastic man in show business. This is Jackie Chan's Stuntmaster for the PlayStation. The gameplay itself is fairly simplistic with the 4 symbols used for jump, kick, punch and grab. Unfortunately, the moves are marred by unresponsive controls. If you're thinking of buying this for the Kung Fu, don't bother. You're much better off checking out Jackie Chan's Tekken twin, Leulon.
Choo Choo Rocket, which derives its name from the Japanese word for mouse, is utter madness. It grips you by the controller and sticks its addictive tendrils into you, clutching the last remnants of your offline life and dissolving them into worship of this fantastic puzzle game. The game is released the 12th of May, but it's going online on the 28th, so you got plenty of time to practice those twitches. We really want to see those fingers.
This 4th installment in the popular Mega Drive Echo series has been in the making since 1997, when the developers realised their perfect dolphin could exist on the Dreamcast console. There are 30 levels, varied locations with loads of enemies to dodge and fellow creatures to help along the way. This game made a pleasant change to blasting the guts out of some innocent victim, and it's intelligent enough to bring out the hippie in us all.
In 1996, Battle Arena Toshinden lit up the fledgling days of 3D beat-em-ups, kicking dust in Virtua Fighter's underpants and running away with the anime glory. There are some new moves and a tag team option. It should have been released before Dead or Alive 2 or Soul Calibur, but it wasn't, so it dies.
Lots more T4 Bits this Sunday.
It's competition time, and this week we're giving away a flight lesson and a copy of Helicopter Gunship to the lucky late-night gamer who can finish this limerick.
There were 3 young ladies on Bits.
Watch it. Now, if you want to read the latest reviews, then check out our brand new, super-duper, top-notch, we are so proud of it website at www.forlater.com/bits and be the first kid on the block in the know.
And not forgetting our T4 shows on a Sunday morning, where we'll be checking out the latest console games. There are no excuses.